Hi, Anne here, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Normally, I react to just videos I find interesting, and I have not done any reactions on music. However, I have fallen in love with the song High Ren, and so this also will be a little different because this is not a first time reaction. This will be somebody who's watched it again and again and again. And I have also watched many people do their first time reactions. It's a lot of fun to watch. So today this song really touched me. It is rare for me to like more modern music. Usually my musical tastes are from like the 30s to about the mid to late 80s. And after that, there's just sparse music here and there where I really end up liking a song. And I generally go out of my way not to listen to current music. I really enjoy more things like Motown or blues or even 80s new wave, especially a lot of British singers. 70s, I love rock. So there's a lot of music that I really do love that generally isn't played that much anymore. So I've seen a lot more of it on YouTube where young music reactors react to the music I used to listen to. So as a kid. So however, this song has touched me in so many ways. It has given me encouragement. It has blown up all over the internet. And so, although I don't know anything really about hip hop or rap, um, this song it's really touched me and opened my eyes up to, maybe some other types of music that I don't generally listen to. So, anyway, let me know if you like the reaction. It's going to be more of a take on the symbolism I see and maybe the journey it took me through. It may not be the journey it takes you through, but it was the journey that it took me through. And it also encouraged me to start my own YouTube channel, which my little dark voice always tells me not to. I try and then I get like 2 videos in and I freak out and never come back. And then start a new channel. So this has encouraged me that as long as I, have 1 or 2 people that enjoy it, that's good enough. And I don't have to be perfect at it, and I don't have to somehow change the world with just, I can just do it and find a few people and maybe, you know, like with Ren, he ended up finding something that actually probably is world changing. But for me, it's more of like, I just want to have fun. And if people enjoy what I do, then, yay for me. And if not, I'm still having fun. It doesn't matter. I've never been a popular person, so I wouldn't even know what that's like. So I have my small group of friends in real life, and that's always good enough for me. And I think I can find my small group of friends on YouTube as well. So anyway, enough about me. We're going to go into High Ren, and I'm just going to discuss some of the symbolism I see. I am artistic in a lot of ways. I draw and I paint, I write poetry, and I've written a novel, but again, that dark little voice won't let me submit it anywhere. So I might have to change that up and give it another good edit and actually submit it where I've always wanted to submit it to. But I do a lot of artistic things and I find a lot of beauty in art and a lot of messages and learning from artistic ventures. So I haven't seen anything like this in a long time, and I'm really excited to go through it and what it meant to me, to you. So without further ado, okay, first I want to talk about the pig in the room. So the first time I saw this pig butcher, I was disturbed. I have to say, I was like, well, that's a little creepy looking. I like horror movies though, so Um, however, after seeing this so many times, and I keep thinking about the oxymoron of having a pig be a butcher, I started thinking about what that else could represent. And for me, it seems like, pigs are generally they're the ones who get butchered, and somehow this pig overcame that and became the butcher. I don't know that he's butchering other pigs. Maybe he's butchering those who butcher the pigs. I don't know. But for me, it seems like he overcame his foe. And maybe in this, the fact that he's caring for this patient in this hospital, creepy hospital setting, perhaps his journey is trying to help other people overcome as well and overcome their foes. And that is just my take. It probably has nothing to do with it, but for me, it just seems like a real symbol for no matter who your foe is, you may find a way to overcome it if you just try. And I think the pig butcher may represent something like that. And I don't know what it represents to you, but for me, it represented overcoming and then passing that how to overcome onto someone else. But that's totally just in my opinion. All right. So to me, I mean, it absolutely sounds beautiful. Amazing work on the guitar. It's also amazing that he's actually doing this in like one shot for the camera. From what I understand, he actually performed this 4 times through and then picked his favorite one. But the first time I heard it, I noticed that some of the, that you kind of get the tune in your head and you're expecting certain notes to come next. And then it starts to distort just a little bit. The note that you're expecting isn't the note you hear. And for me, it almost seems like here he's illustrating that there are two things going on here. There's two sides to this, and it's a journey for both of his sides, the dark voice side and his light voice side, or happy side versus angry side. I don't know. Oppressive, not impressive. I don't know, but it kind of shows that this tune isn't just him alone, but that other voice is always part of it. And to me, that it almost and then that the notes sound just slightly darker or slightly off, I think is really telling. And I don't know what his intention was. Of course, I don't know his intention on anything on this. I'm not a musician. I do like to sing. That's it. Karaoke online by myself. I make my husband put on headphones and blast whatever game he's playing because I don't like to sing in front of people. But this is that I just the first time hearing it, I went, huh. Usually, when I hear music, I can kind of guess where we're going with it, and I instantly felt the chord was off, and it kind of piqued my interest right away.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
All right, and I just want to say here, I mean, you got the light starting to flash. It gives you a little form of chaos. I really like this, but I also want to say, and I don't know if this is considered hip hop or rap. I think it's more hip hop, but honestly, I really don't know the difference. Sorry, I'm kind of old, and I haven't really listened to. I think when I was in my late teens, early 20s is when I started hearing. It was my late teens when I really started hearing rap, and I think I heard Tone Loc, and I heard Two Live Crew at like the one dance club I ever went to in my life. And I decided maybe rap wasn't right for me. And it just because I was like, well, they all have the same kind of theme. And, I'm always been a little embarrassed and, um, the Christian girl. And I was always like, I don't think I should listen to that. So I never really got into it. But I do think the first actual rap song I heard was Wham Rap. I don't know if anybody's heard of Wham Rap, but they actually did a rap song, I think, more in the early 80s. I think it was the early 80s, like early to mid 80s. And I really love that song. So apparently, I just never really gave it much thought. And as I stopped pretty much listening to current radio about 1986 and just kept on with the hits that I loved from, all the decades before. I prefer things like jazz, Motown, um, love the blues, and I love rock and things like that. And I may have already said that, sorry. But uh, anyway, I also don't listen to country music. I do know some country music just because it comes through on at work when someone's listening to just a regular radio station. So the ones that play just like on a regular pop station, I hear. And I don't listen to metal, though my husband was a heavy metal fan in the 80s. I've just never really listened to it. So maybe I should broaden my horizons. I don't know. You let me know if I should broaden my horizons. But yeah, I pretty much stick to things that I already like. And I think my favorite music to listen to is either jazz or blues. And the rest, I still fit in there because I also like ridiculously catchy songs that are more pop, like Barbie Girl. I love that song. And Blue and Bungo Bung. So songs that just have this really catchy thing that goes on and on and on. And I don't know why I like those songs, but I adore them. So I'm just a, middle life, middle aged nerd, and I can't help it. But anyway,
High Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill.
okay, and I just realized when I went on that tangent, I forgot to tell you the part I wanted to tell you about. A lot of music I hear nowadays, and it could be that I have old ears, I have a hard time picking out what people are saying or singing. And his enunciation and diction are amazing. And I'm only saying both because I don't know the absolute difference between the two. But I know he enunciates well and he speaks clearly, and I can understand him, which is so nice because a lot of music I listen to, I have to download the lyrics to have any idea what they're talking about. And sometimes I'll make up my own lyrics, and my husband will have to correct me because I think I know what they're saying. Case in point, there's a song called, was it called The Joker by Steve Miller Band? And I'm pretty naive about life. And when he said that he's a midnight toker, I would always sing it talker. And my husband laughed at me and told me it's toker. And I go, well, toker isn't a word. So he told me what that means. And I was like, seriously? I go, why do all the songs I like have to do with drugs? I don't even know they have anything to do with drugs, but I just like singing along to them. So yeah, it's really nice when I can actually understand them. And it would probably be better if I had a little bit more idea what people are talking about.
Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah.
I too have dealt with depression and some issues in my mental health, especially when I was younger. And I have to say that that rings true to me, where it seems like, especially way back in the day, and it sounds like they're still doing it today, where they try to say, oh, well, I think you have this, so I'm going to put you in this little box. And to fix this, almost like a recipe, they dump all the ingredients on you and then say, do this, like bake you for, 350 for 2 hours, and then you're magically better. And it doesn't work like that. We cannot be fit into these little boxes, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm not a mental health specialist, but it seems like, just because two people maybe have whatever, ADHD, or maybe have on the autism spectrum, or maybe have any kind of difficulty in life, we still have it with our own lens and our own past and our own visions of the future. And those all play into it and give it nuances that make it not fit into that cookie cutter. And the cookie cutter may start to fix things, but you cannot expect to throw these things. And when I was young, they're like, oh, well, let's throw all this in and then you should be fine. And when I wasn't fine, it made me feel even worse, like I had done something wrong. And I think that, we've come a long way in the last 30 years or so, but I still think we have a long way to go. And I think part of that is making other people, the general public who aren't dealing with this in a more crushing and life-sucking way, to be exposed to it and to feel that pain and realize, these are difficulties and somehow we can all contribute to help people get better. And yeah, just my opinion.
Mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me.
That line gets me every time. There's a couple lines in here that just hit me so hard, and that is one. Back to his music, though, I do want to say that I like how the entire visual and musical set is making it clear who's talking. Not even going into how he's changed his voice, his face looks different, his countenance is better. We'll talk about continence. Countenance is different for each side, but also the lighting is different. The guitar playing is much more aggressive on one and light on the other. And then with his voice, he sounds more aggressive. I don't want to say aggressive, but almost condescending, a little rude. Like that friend you wish you shouldn't have because they're always putting you down kind of person. And the other one is somebody who seems almost bruised and, trying to be nice, saying, we don't need to hang out anymore. I think I got this. I think, I'm finally going to make it this time. And, they're kind of bringing me down, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. More of a timid kind of voice. That's the voice I pretty much use in my life. I never want to hurt anybody. My intention is never to isolate or hurt anyone. And I have a hard time standing up sometimes for my own self and my own needs. And I think during this song, we just start to see that growth where he gets a little bit stronger on the right, not on the light side. And then on the dark side doesn't get less strong either, but it's like his healthier self is rising up to meet the strength of maybe the unhealthy voice. And it's so beautiful. But I do like how this entire visual and musical thing is also keeping with the theme. So you can close your eyes and still know exactly who's talking, but you can also just watch it with no sound and know exactly what's going on. It's absolutely clear. And I think it's just stunning and well put together. And I can't believe he's an independent artist, but I honestly don't think that a non-independent artist would be allowed to release something like this, quite frankly, which is sad because I think this is something the world needs.
I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it.
Man, it's not like that.
Man, it's just like that, I'm inside you, you twat.
No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong.
Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious, Eminem did it.
Played on guitar.
Plan B did it.
And I think that's something any creative person definitely struggles with. It's hard to come up with an original, 100% original idea. And like even when I wrote a fantasy novel, and again, one that I have yet to actually do anything with, and I made it as original as I could. However, I can see the influences in the writers I've loved. And that makes, I feel like, oh, well, am I copying them even though it's not their story? You know, are people going to see that? And one of the first things my husband said when he read the first couple chapters of my book, that's as far as he got, because he's like that. He doesn't like to read it. He wants to listen to an audiobook. But he said, oh, this reminds me of Melanie Ron, which is one of my favorite fantasy authors, the writing style. And I was like, oh no, I'm a fake. You know, and I can't just take it as a compliment. And, you know, I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, you know, and I put so much into this book. And someday I'm going to get over this voice. And I actually finished the first draft in 2017. It is now 2023. And I still just have, and it's just over 200,000 words. It's a huge book. And I've thought about splitting it into 3 books and self-publishing it and trying not to go through the big publisher that I've always wanted to publish with, which is DAW Books. But I don't know, it's crippling. And so I do these things and then I just set them aside and do nothing with them. Just like my drawings. I draw and then either give away a copy of it or the original, and then they just sit in the back because I'm too embarrassed to do anything with them. It's one time I did get off my butt though, and I submitted mine. I try to win an award with one of my drawings, and so I put a colored pencil of mine in the local county fair, and I won first place in my category, and it felt so good. And I won like $2 or $3, and I have them just set aside somewhere. But as good as that felt, I was still too scared to do anything else. So I get it, and that voice is crippling. Crippleizing is not a word. Crippling. Sorry, I'm nervous. But anyway, sorry I keep interrupting.
Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore.
Fuck you. I don't need you. I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself. I'm a genius. And I will be great. And I will make waves. And I'll shake up the whole world beneath us.
That's right, speak your truth. Your fucking god complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it.
Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
Fuck you. I'ma fucking kill you, Ren.
Well, fucking kill me then. Let's fucking have you, Ren.
I'ma do it. Watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside.
Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me, I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren.
Okay, and so like I said earlier, I am Christian, and I don't know Ren's religious affiliations, if he has any or not. But I have to say this really hit me to my core, because one of the core beliefs in Christianity is once the fall of man and sin came in, the devil doesn't want us to go back to God and end up in heaven. He wants to make us miserable and keep us here, or, and have all these thoughts that keep us down and away from reaching for peace. And it's quite a terrifying scene. Plus, he started really slow and it got more and more chaotic, faster, louder, and very urgent and powerful and quite scary. So that was an amazing, almost crescendo of music. Well, it was a crescendo in there. And then the lights and everything, it was incredibly powerfully done and very, very thought-provoking. I guess it's the best way I can say it.
High Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of
There, when he finally looks directly in the camera like that, it's where you can start to see his own inner strength building. And it's such a touching moment when he looks right into that camera, right here, right there. And I just remember seeing that the first time and just went, whoa, he's about to like kick that bad boy's butt. Yeah, you can just, that it feels like this is the moment where the hero comes in and wins. So yeah, that's the moment when I really was like, oh, there's going to be a good ending to this. There's going to be, some kind of journey that is going to have some sort of happier ending than a sad ending. Right when I saw that look in his face.
just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet.
And there was the second time where it was like a double punch. When he stood up, even when saying stand up, but for some reason it was just, you would almost think that it would be, oops, sorry about that. I got something popping up on my screen. You would almost think it would be almost corny because you're saying stand up and you actually stand up. But it was just it is such a powerful moment. And you got that light coming in over his shoulder and all this. It's just visually such a strong storytelling moment of strength and overcoming that I think really kind of highlights how big of a deal it is to overcome something like this. And I was just blown away by that. So thank you, Ren.
And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope.
And there's that line. The first few times I heard it, I got chills. For anybody who's battled with thoughts of suicide and whatever stopped you, I'm glad it stopped you, first of all. But hope is that voice, I guess. Hope that, things can be better than they are right at this moment. And that's a powerful voice, even though it's still and it's quiet. And you have to listen for it sometimes when you really have all this other stuff blaring in your head. And you still have to find that still quiet, small voice of hope in there and use that to get you through this tough time. Because the more you listen to that voice, the louder it becomes, the stronger it is that it holds on to you and you hold on to it. The next time you come up across another dark time, it's easier to hear that voice again. And it's easier to drown out the rest. Even if you can still hear it, it's easier to ignore. And again, I am not a mental health professional, but I have dealt with problems and I have dealt with depression and I have dealt with wanting to hurt myself when I was young. And that voice, it saved me. And the more I listen to that voice, the less unless that other voice had a grip on me in my darkest times. So, yeah, that's a lyrically, it's beautiful, but it's also a super strong message that I think people should hear. And I saw CNN all up in arms about just that first line where he was like, "You got to kill you if you want to kill me." But I think what they should have focused on was here, no? And this is a song not about hurting yourself, but it's about that you can get through this and you can power through this, or you can find a way to embrace something better. And doesn't mean that your situation's going to change right away. Your situation may never change, but how you deal with it makes all the difference on your mental health, I think. For me, it was easy. I didn't have a lot of extra things going on in my life that anymore. What caused the depression had long since no longer been a part of my life when the depression really hit. For others, they're still living in that. And, I hope you find who you can reach out to, or the program you can reach out to, or the music that you can reach out to that will help you get through this. So anyway.
And you know how I know that I'll prosper? 'Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise in the music that I left behind.
I also love that line, inspire the meek to be strong. There's a verse in the Bible that says, the meek will inherit the earth. And I've never, ever understood that line, but I've always been more of a meek person than I'm not a bold person. My personality is technical. I'm very technical, technically driven, but I'm also creatively driven. But I'm definitely not one to voice my opinion over others, especially like in a professional setting, unless I am 100% sure that I am correct. And I have tons of data to back up the words coming out of my mouth, because I don't want to be wrong and steer someone wrong. But when I know I'm right, that's the only time I kind of stand up for myself. And yeah, there is a strength in meekness, I think, too. But it isn't often perceived that way. So anyway, I just think that line is beautiful.
Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climbing to different side.
Okay, and I don't want to stop him in the dark. I just wanted to say that I think this is a perfect ending, because even though he overcame this particular voice at this particular time, the voice doesn't go away. So it seems like at the beginning, when he did this part of the song, he was more stoic. He was in his chair, sitting there playing the guitar rather quietly. And there wasn't a joy or a lot of passion in the first, "Woo, woo, woo, it was more, I would almost like say sedated, but not sedated, but more quiet and meek, I guess. And now he's celebrating life. And he also, in that last line where he says, we're a coin with two different sides, he's not saying that voice is no longer a part of him. He's saying that these are both my halves and we have to find a way to live together. And he's still able to find joy. He's dancing. This song is more upbeat. His hoo-hoos are lovely. And the lights are still flashing. The other part is still there. But he's found a way to embrace his whole self and be happy with it. And oh, it's so beautiful. And at least that's how I interpret it. It could be totally wrong, but I find joy in this ending part, because he does seem to have pulled off maybe some of the more depression part of this, and just here you can see him joyful, and it's beautiful to watch. And this poor sweet young man has been going through so much medical condition, has problems with Lyme disease, and my heart just goes out to him. I'm his, could be easily be his mother, and age wise, and my heart just goes out to him. And I would just, if I could take away all his pain and stuff, I would, in a heartbeat. He just seems like such a talented young guy, and I'm so impressed. Okay, you want to sing along? Sorry, I couldn't help. I love that part.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast.
And that line, holy cow. He is so poetic. And I wanted to say, I've seen a lot of people compare this song to like the new Bohemian Rhapsody of his generation. And there's a lot to be said about that. I mean, musically, Bohemian Rhapsody starts, you know, with one type of music, then it switches, and comes kind of back down into where it kind of started. And this does some of the same things. It's also very shocking. It's constantly changing up. There's a lot of pain in both songs and how to overcome. I believe that the Queen song has to do with Freddie Mercury coming out, and so that's the man he killed his old self, and this is his new self. They are very similar, and Freddie Mercury also performed in a very dramatic way. But even more so, I think he performs a lot like David Bowie, where David Bowie often played a character on stage. And when you watch a lot of his different concerts, they're very theatrical. And I think my favorite personification or character that he played was Ziggy Stardust. But yeah, it's very theatrical. David Bowie loved theater. And so he wasn't just a performer or just a singer. He was also an actor, and you got the whole picture. And I think you get that as well with this young man. He's willing to put his whole everything into it and just bear it for everybody to see, which is a very vulnerable place to be. Because if it's bad enough, like if you sing a song and someone rejects it, and if you write a song, it's probably even way worse. But to perform it with everything you have, and if it were to be rejected, I mean, they're rejecting not just, your work, but your soul and who you are. And of course, not all music is for everybody. I mean, I know that, but still, that fear can keep a lot of people from trying, I guess is what I'm saying. But also, I think he also reminds me quite a bit of Simon Le Bon, who is the singer for Duran Duran, and he's a poet. His writing is very um, subjective, and even though Ren's is not as subjective, there's a lot of poetry and simile going on that you would see in some great poetry. And so it kind of reminds me of that as well. He is an amazing performer and actor, and I don't think there's anything he can't do creatively. And anyway, yeah, he has so many lines that just touch you deep in the soul. And I haven't seen that in a long time in music. And because I mean, obviously, the people I've mentioned haven't been at their height in a very long time, but it's the music I listen to, and the music I listen to again and again are going to be the songs that make me think and I can learn something new, even if I go back to it 10 years later and go, oh, I didn't catch that before. And to me, it's like, it's a whole new journey, and I enjoy the song in a whole different way every time.
It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
It gets me every time. So, actually, I like it better when he speaks in the camera. That's a good shot. But anyway, so this is High Ren, and again, it's not a first time reaction. There are so many wonderful first time reactions, and I loved them all. Every time I see another first time reaction, I go, watch it. I can't help it. I go watch it again and again. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. But anyway, this is my take on this song, and I've been watching some of his other music, and I'm so sorry I say and I'm not a lot. I'll be working on that. Every time I go to edit these later, I'm like, wow, I really need to stop saying that. I should put up like a little counter up here and start tagging them off. But I won't, because it's just annoying. So I'll work on it. It's just me thinking, and I can't pause and stop talking when I'm thinking, apparently. So let me know what you think if anybody watches this. Please go to Ren's site. Go to Ren's site and hit subscribe and like. This young man has so many songs on there, and I look forward to listening to others of his songs. And if you can think of any other music you think I should watch, if you like this kind of reaction versus, and those would probably be more like first time reactions, or if you'd prefer a more in-depth reaction where I watch it a bunch of times first, just let me know. I really don't know which way this channel is going to go. I do know I'm making another channel that's strictly for genealogists, but for here, I just want to do something that people enjoy and that I enjoy doing. So, feel free to give me any constructive criticism. Please don't be rude. No one likes rude people. So, but constructive criticism or encouragement, like, subscribe, dislike, something. Let me know what you're thinking. And until later, thank you so much for joining me. I know this is a long one. Sorry about that. You guys take care. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and I'll see you later. Bye.